Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I wanted to share an experience that I'm going through, that I've been working through, and that is something that shows up in my life that I am conscious of more now than ever. And it's taken a lot of time, and it's taken a lot of grit and courage, and it's something that I hits a lot of vulnerability for me, and it shows up here and there in my life, as I'm human and have experiences. So I wanted to share something that I'm kind of experiencing now, and but I'm also gaining more and more awareness and consciousness in, and taking, I think, more aligned action in my life. And so with this experience, I'm also offering kind of like a prayer of remembrance and of light and of protection, because it is extremely vulnerable for me. And this is kind of the process that I have been using for a while now, that I haven't shared before. So, but I feel like it may be helpful to someone, and to kind of see like how I use my channel, my personal, my being, how I process this experience that I'm going through, and it might be helpful to someone. So, thank you for being here, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of go into what it is that I'm experiencing, that I'm trying to overcome. And I'm going to share a little bit of my story. So here we go. So we all know that there are moments in life when we realize that what we are holding on to is not necessarily a person, not a place, not even a thing. It is those things, those external things that orbit us, whether by conscious choice or unconscious choosing, that ultimately help mirror our internal world, our internal system, our dearest and closest friendships, relationships, lovers, family we choose, or family we remain by. They will reveal our deepest strengths, our most courageous attributes of character, of compassion, genuine love and care, innocence, and they can reveal the broader spectrum of lower density fields, such as fear itself, fear of loss, fear of disappointment, fear of loneliness. And I'm in a time where my field is an awareness of what it means of, there's something holding me back, or there's something I need to let go of. There is something I need to release. And immediately my brain looks at my external world and wonders, what person, what situation, what place or item am I in need of to release? Well, then I too remember that sometimes it could be a thought, a silent, deeply rooted thought, or a deeply rooted idea that I once held that may be holding me back. I am in that period now of vulnerability and sensitivity, and realize that the most gracious thing that I can do with something that I have experienced is letting go of the framework of ideas and thoughts that hold me back from letting go of something that I hold dear to my heart. And sometimes doing that is the greatest act of love, is the greatest act of service. Truth be told, I have a really difficult time with that because I have had early loss in my life where my childhood brother and sister passed over early on in my life and in their life, and it taught me that there are many things that are not in our control. And as I grow and learn and do this soul work, I see that we will be asked to let go of the framework behind holding on to things that we love, that we know we need to surrender or let go. And for me, it was the thought. It was conceptualizing, and it was the thought of actively accepting that I will choose to let go of something that I held deeply in my heart, which activates the deep loss for me because of my earlier experiences. And I see that there needs to be a lot of grace and a lot of space for me to reframe my mind. Of course, I have experienced many friendships end. I've ended family relationships that were also deeply important to me. And I say that as to say that the framework and conceptualizing the idea that there will be times, and there are times, we actively choose to let go of something that we hold deep in our hearts will show up in our lives. And this is something that I tend to have a very difficult time with because, like I said, of my earlier experiences of losing a brother and losing a sister, my childhood siblings, and which are no longer here, and I had zero control in that, of course. And so this is a core wounding, as they say, that, and it's something that I trying to kind of have a lot of grace in my life and evolve into a deeper sense of, I don't know, maybe comfortability as much as possible when these events occur in my life, where, okay, you have to actually choose to let go of something you love. And that's something that I'm struggling with right now, but I've experienced it, of course, before, of course, as we all have probably experienced losing a friend or anyone close to us, or relationship. So, and as I was touching on, I've even ended family relationships that were very deeply important to me. But there is this calling, and there is this calling that I needed to find something within me, discover something, some type of truth. And I had to step away from many things that I did love, and I'm being asked to do that again. And it's very vulnerable for me and difficult. So, but this is why I'm here sharing this, because maybe this could, someone can relate. So with that calling that I was speaking of, when like I had to leave everything that I loved, my family, there is something that I was feeling, and so it's led me to this like soul quantum level frameworking that I choose to step into, because honestly I am tired of living my life in kind of like a highly polarized way of consequence. Like, my life is this because of the consequence of that. And of course, that's how life is, like cause and effect. We can't avoid that. And it's also a very great thing and a good thing. You do something great, and most likely the effect of that would also be equally great in return. But I think I was more tired of having an extremely polarized way of life, or extreme cause and effect. And so I wanted and deeply needed to be in the more subtle realms, the subtleness of life itself, so I can listen, so I can sense, so I can feel what is real, so I can feel what is true, so I can feel what may be false or tempting or touching on a fractured side to me that I'm unaware of. Well, I think you get what I may be hitting on. So I wanted to offer this frequency field because I'm in need of it now, and it's part of the work that I want to kind of stay in and would love to offer on this channel. So as I'm in a state of vulnerability, releasing deeply held fear, which is basically what I need to let go of, in the essence of what I'm sharing here, it's the thought. It's not necessarily anything external to me. It's the thought of fear, and the fear of loss and loneliness. It's the thought of it that I would like to gently release. So I wanted to, as I'm working through this phase in my life now, I wanted to set the intention of shielding my field with light, and to have this prayer or this frequency field that I'll personally be working with as protection and clarity, and remembering of my true light, or of our true light, and why it's okay to let go of the framework of fear of loss, fear of release, which may very well lead to newer, higher, or more aligned energies to fill in that space instead. So I offer this to anyone who is still here, and I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you find this valuable. Now I would like to clear and prepare the space. So I'm just going to take a moment to breathe in and out. So I'm just kind of clearing the field and the space, and I want to welcome in the highest love and the highest light frequencies, and field to ground me and to ground this space and to ground you in every way possible, and to hold us in so much protection and loving care and grace. So let us begin now. This is the frequency field that I'll be working with as I working on letting go and releasing the framework behind fear of loss and the fear of release, so I can allow for a higher level of alignment and frequency and life around me. So here is the prayer, I guess, that I'll be working with. I welcome the light that knows me. I welcome the presence that remembers me beyond form, beyond time. I return now to my original source alignment. I call upon the highest forces of divine protection, rooted only in love, sealed only in truth, aligned only with my soul's sovereign authority, across all timelines and realities, across all dimensions and planes, across all densities, frequencies, fields, and forms. I now anchor full spectrum divine protection over my mind, my body, my soul, and my spirit. I extend this shield across every parallel, alternate, and quantum space where any part of my being may dwell. No interference may enter this light. No deception may remain in my field. No signal, tag, tether, or implant may exist within this sovereign soul temple. If it is not love, it may not enter. If it is not truth, it may not stay. If it is not mine, it is now released and returned to source. I now dissolve all cords of distortion. I now reclaim all power seated across lifetimes. I now retrieve all soul light scattered beyond time. I am not afraid. I am not reactive. I am not alone. I am an eternal, sovereign being. I walk in sacred presence, protected by grace. I call now the full return of my organic light body. I seal my energy field in a golden lattice of divine intelligence. My multidimensional self is now held in holy alignment. My path is guarded. My soul is remembered. My presence is sanctified. And so it is, across all space, all time, all realities, and all layers of being. You are loved. I love you, and thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.